look the part, but let's see some of your moves.
Feeling free and it feels so right. Oh, time to do the things I like. Gonna see a princess, everything's alright. Oh, no job but an answer to. Ain't a fixture in the palace zoo. No, and since the carpet nights off me, I'm living life now that I'm free. Yeah, time to get myself together. Now I got myself together. Now I made it through the weather. Better days are gonna get better. I'm so happy. The current night is gone. I'm moving on. I'm so happy that it's over now. The pain is gone. I'm putting on my shades to cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride. I'm heading.
Uh-oh.
How are you?
There we go. Can you hear me now?
There we go.
All right. I just had my mixing board is facing backwards and I had the wrong switch on. So. Like technical errors. Yeah, so let me...
Not only can you not see in those buckets, you can't hear very well either.
Oh, I know, right? Well, you've never worn one for a long time, have you? Let's see if I have any...
Good to see you guys again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's becoming a ritual now.
I know, right? I have like a couple... I had a couple people here that I was asking. I'm just sending them a link just in case anything changes.
And we've already got our regulars on board too.
Yeah.
Arc 77 and E-Girl Emma.
Yeah, I was gonna send one I was gonna send an invite to who was I thinking? I was thinking, but I didn't know if they would want to do it again. But I was going to send one to Anthony again. I didn't want to like stretch our friendship with him too much, you know. So
I completely understand.
But yeah, okay. So I think I have. All right, I even have Cap on TikTok. So those that are on TikTok, you have to jump over to my YouTube, or this will make no sense because it'll just look like I'm talking. They won't hear you guys. So before we start, it's March 2nd. It's the 2-year anniversary from when Lucasfilm was at my house.
That's pretty cool.
Which is crazy. So, I don't know. That was just kind of a happy moment. As I was looking through all the pictures, and then I was thinking, why didn't I take more pictures?
And even with that said, no matter how many pictures you took, it wouldn't be enough. And at the same time, you were able to just be where you were supposed to be, right there, right then, witnessing it all go down.
Yeah. Well, and the plus side is I had Marty here. I asked Marty to come, and since he's a professional photographer, he did take a good many compared to most places. So anytime they mention that show, like when they won an award, they used a picture of Zoe's episode, even though they got an award for a different episode. Which is pretty funny. So, yeah. So let me just double check. I think the chat is working. I think I saw someone chat at me. Do we want it over the screen like that? Does that work? Or do we want it like that? Do we just want it? I don't know.
Well, only the YouTube chat works from my experience, so I don't know if...
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know if anyone's really watching it on anything else. I mean, I guess it's on Facebook, too. And this the app I have running, it's supposed to work on all of them. But let me see.
Yeah, if you the actual Facebook Live, we can't
Yeah.
see any of the chats from there.
Let me see. Oh yeah. See, it's
Yeah, if you the actual Facebook Live,
I see it.
any of the chats from there.
Let me see. I have a separate, like I said. Oh wait a minute, I'm echoing from Facebook. Like I said. Sorry. There we go. You guys still hear me?
Yep.
Oh, no, I just. Sorry. There we go. You guys still hear me? Yep. Oh, no, I just. Okay. Let me just try one more thing before we start, and then we'll be ready to go. I was trying the Facebook. I'm just going to run this app one more time. Yeah, my TikTok's really laggy. I just feel like I should put the TikTok up in case anyone's interested, but if they're on TikTok, they should jump over to YouTube because that's when you'll see the real thing. But let me check this. Yes, I have this restream chat program. But it's supposed to link all the chats is what it's supposed to do. So let's see.
I'm glad we're getting all these kinks ironed out because by the time Kathleen Kennedy and George sit down to watch this,
oh yeah. Yep. Let's see notifications. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know, but it says everything's working. But it's always good to work. It's always good to work on something exactly when you need it. That's the. But anyhow.
Well, when do you find a leak in your roof? When it's raining.
When it's raining, and then when it's dry out, you're like, I feel like working on the roof. That's why I used to own a snowmobile, and we always wound up working on it outside on the first snow. Because no one wants to work on a snowmobile when it's 80 degrees out. All right, so today, besides me reminiscing about our Star Wars stories, which again, everyone watching, check StarWarsGeekGirl.com, check all that. Zoe just wrote some good articles every week. But anyhow, we're talking about fan films, right? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And and we picked two fan films mainly. So this mainly started because we were all part of a fan film that's currently being worked on right now with Matt Mickelson. And we decided who we picked Hardware Wars and
Troops.
And when we picked those, so I never thought of Hardware Wars as a fan film, to be honest with you.
Really?
Because when it came out, it was I think it came out on America's Funniest Videos or something, didn't it? Or
no, no. Hardware Wars?
No, but when they first they played it somewhere. I'm trying to think when I first saw it.
They used to play it on like HBO and those kind of like the cable shows in between other things to fill in some of those gaps.
Right, but I saw it before that because I didn't have cable in 78 or 79.
You do, yeah. I was going to say, John, have you heard of this fan film?
I have as of 12 hours ago.
Okay. So for those of you watching, this thing is old. This thing came out in 1978.
Right.
So this is pre-YouTube. This is pre-streaming services. So this was the film that kind of started all fan films, I think.
Yeah, I just so I'm almost positive I saw it. I had to see it on regular TV because we didn't have cable in my house until I was well into high school, which would have been in the 80s. And so I could have swore I first saw it on like one of those. I don't think it was called America's Funniest Home Videos, but it was some similar to that, where people would send in these videos they made.
Maybe. I mean, America's Funniest Home Videos wasn't around in 1978. That's for
whatever
sure.
the equivalent was. Now
Yeah.
I gotta look where it premiered. Hardware Wars first shown. Again, nothing like doing research when you're here too.
Well, it was also played as it was played in the theaters too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. See, I didn't know that. Production, post-production.
Had $1,000 and a box office gross of $1 million.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I couldn't remember where I first saw it, but I wouldn't. I barely went to the movies. You know. Yeah, I don't know. Film Festival, Chicago Film Festival. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Video release was filmed. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I do remember when you could buy it in the store at was it Suncoast Video?
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah, Suncoast Video, because you could buy it was in a box. I do remember seeing it, So, Ken, you lead us on Hardware Wars.
So, well, how about we do this? Let's watch it because it's brief. We're talking 13 minutes long, roughly speaking.
Okay. Now let me see if I can do that.
And then we'll share some of the wonderful nuggets of curiosity related to this film.
Yeah, let me.
Now, I've only seen the first of it.
Yeah,
I had enough time on my lunch break to watch the first half.
Okay.
So half of this is going to be brand new to me.
Okay,
excellent.
See if I can figure out how to share my screen again. Can you hear that? Probably not.
Hear it, yes. See it, no.
Okay, I just want to make sure the sound was okay. Let me pause it. See if I have this. Share screen. Does it give me a choice? All right, let me see which screen. Oh, there we go. I have two screens, so it's gonna. All right, can we see it?
Yes, sir.
There we go. Full screen. We can't get copyrighted because we're doing it on YouTube. So.
And we're commenting over time.
Notice the 20th Century Foss.
Yeah.
Hardware Wars, a spectacle light years ahead of its time. Starring Luke Starbucker, intergalactic boy wonder. Augie Ben Doggy, venerable member of the Red Eye Knights. Princess Android, interstellar damsel in distress. Ham Salad, ace mercenary pilot and intergalactic wise guy. Darth Nader, villain. See incredible celestial battles ablaze with death-dealing weaponry. Enjoy mirth-filled moments with the amusing antics of Space Drones 4Q2 and Artie Deco.
Artie Deco,
Yeah,
where are
these are
you?
the costumes we need to make.
Yeah.
At last, where have you been? Secret mission? What plan? What are you talking about? This is madness. Wait a minute, where are you going? We're heading in this direction. What are we going to do? We're doomed for certain. Oh dear, I'm going to regret this.
No one knows what that is anymore.
Here's another fine mess you've gotten us into. What a desolate place this is. Why,
We could film this at the same place that we're filming our fan film.
Well, you can do what you like. I'm going this way.
Let's see if I get it.
It's too late to try to apologize.
Watch with electrifying fascination as Luke Starbucker discovers the princess's secret message.
Help me, Augie Bendoggy. You're my only hope. Help me, Augie Bendoggy. You're my
Golly.
Help me, Augie Bendoggy. You're my only hope.
It looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Luke meets the venerable Augie Bendoggy.
Your father wanted you to have this when you were old enough.
Gosh. Wowee. Keepers. Golly willikers.
They had to use the fog too.
You'll feel supercharged with intrigue as the adventurers join forces on an heroic mission to save the princess.
An Imperial steam trooper.
Uh-oh. Identification? Gee, I think I left my ID in my other pants. Look, we're in kind of a hurry.
These aren't the drones you want.
These aren't the drones we
We
want.
don't want to detain us.
We don't want to detain you.
That's supposed to be a stormtrooper.
I feel offended by that.
You'll never see a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Watch your step, son. This place can be a little rough.
Oh, no, it's too weird in here. I can't go in here. Look, I'll wait for you outside.
Stay calm, my boy. We've got
I'll look away with this.
I'm proud to be old Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's our man.
Fly along with Ham Salad and Chewchilla, the Wookiee monster, as they make their daring getaway.
Notice the dice in the background?
Oh my.
Smoking. However, should have said change your turn in the cabinet. Mark your tray table in place. Thank you.
Witness the exciting, action-packed dogfight scene. Experience the expensive, spine-tingling special effects as you become catapulted into the dazzling dimension of Space.
They're still back there. They're gaining on us. Does this
Are you building a cockpit like that, Mike? So you don't have to see any buttons? You just
Yeah.
Hold on.
reach out of screen, out of camera shot? Hold on, let me adjust the thing up here and that
Right.
over there.
I like the just subtle lean back.
I think we're watching the special edition.
Yeah, this is a longer edition than I watched the first time.
Yeah, some of the effects seem like they've been updated.
What happened?
You ever wondered?
Oh,
what
we got an ad.
actors and
Ah.
actresses have to do when they have to get in shape really fast for a movie?
That's what we
I
use.
promise you.
You'll hiss Darth Vader. naughty person.
I don't understand what you're saying. I can't understand you. Are you talking to me? No, you can't destroy innocent people. Basketball is a peaceful planet, please. We have no weapons. No, don't.
Wait, did he flip it to off?
Jeepers, what is it on you there, Yogi? Did you feel a great disturbance in the force? As if millions of voices cried out in terror and were suddenly silent?
No, just a little headache.
Look, what's that?
Too big to be a space station. Oh. I got a bad feeling about this. Chutilla, full reverse.
Oh, we're out of control. We're being drawn toward it. Get us out of here.
Take it easy, kid. Only a movie. Thrill to the hair-raising dramatic rescue of Princess Android.
Was that the first version of the shake weight?
You'll get us all killed.
Excuse me.
We'll go in here. I insist.
Forget it, sister. I can handle it. Okay, I'm with you.
You must try to hurry, Artie. There's very little time. Please, Artie, try to plug into the master computer.
Hi, I'm Ready Kilowatt, reporting a dangerous overloaded octopus connection in Sector 5.
You trying to break my needle.
The time is...
I want to know where those graphics are from 1978.
Try to find that track.
Yeah, I think that those were updated for the special edition.
Oh, okay.
Ah, there it is.
What the?
What are you saying? I can't understand. What is he saying? Now, you go on without me. I'll be all right. Don't worry about me.
Oh, what a martyr.
Martyr. I don't
See you later, you martyr, you. Look out, space rubble. Enjoy intense drama in the exciting pre-battle briefing session.
Okay, so what you want to do here is this. You want to attack its most vulnerable spot. Come at it from this angle and locate the automatic flip-flop override device here, which in turn will diffuse the anti-gyroscopic pre-interphase thrust chamber and the pneumatic centrifugal anti-gravity shield deflectors. Then you simply deactivate the axial gyro pre-sub-inertia photomegatronic oscillator that you see here. Huh? You pull the plug.
Trust your feelings, Luke. And if you can't be good, be careful. Hardware Wars. A sprawling space saga.
That's new.
Romance, rebellion, and household.
Yeah, that's super high tech.
Hardware wars. You'll laugh. You'll cry. You'll kiss $3 goodbye. Coming
$3.
soon to a theater near you. Get in line now. May the farce be with you.
We'll give them all their credit when their credit's due.
So that was made less than a year after Star Wars came out. I mean, Star Wars came out on May 25th, 1977. That was released, I want to say, January of 78.
Yeah. I could, you know what? I wonder if they showed clips of it on some television show.
It's possible. I mean,
because I wouldn't have seen, but I remember some of the lines. Like I remember the Wookiee monster and their names and all that kind of stuff. You know.
So let's start off with the writer and director of that. So that was Ernie Facilius.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned the Cookie Monster character, the Wookiee Monster character.
Yeah.
What makes those two things, Ernie and Wookiee Monster, so funny is Ernie Facilius had a career as an animator, and he worked on Sesame Street. So he did some of the animations for Sesame Street. Do you remember the countdown, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? That was Ernie's work. So he did some of those animations, the early animations for Sesame Street. You know, so it makes sense to put in the Wookiee monster. And you had mentioned earlier, John, that this was done on a budget of $8,000
in 1978 dollars.
Yeah, in 1978 dollars, which is probably what, $500,000 today.
See, I don't know, but here I'm looking at an inflation counter.
And another fun piece about Ernie's history. So he became friends at some point with Ben Burt.
Oh, okay.
And he helped arrange some of the songs, specifically the Lopty Neck song for Return of the Jedi.
Oh, okay.
And worked with Ben Burt to come up with the voice or the vocals for Poggle the Lesser in the prequels. So this guy who with a bunch of other folks put together this $8,000 parody, the first fan film, actually ended up getting to work in Star Wars with Ben Burt.
Now, according to this one inflation calculator, which I have no clue how correct it is or anything, but it would be $34,496 in today's dollars.
Okay.
Which, if you think about it, when they filmed that, they had no digital. There was no digital in '78 to buy a digital camera or a camera that would record on tape would have been thousands of dollars. Because I had a Super 8 silent camera that was like $100 and some back then, and it was just black and white. Or I mean, 8mm. It could do color, black and white, but it would only do 5 minutes at a pop. And the film was $10 for a film and $10 to get it developed.
Okay.
So, wow, that's crazy though. But see, it's funny because then you were saying with all that connection, I wonder if we should have went into categories like fan films made by people like us and fan films made by people who are connected into the business.
Well, it's keep that in mind when we talk about troops.
Right. Well, that's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah.
You know, because like if you work for a film company and you're a good employee, and they have all this equipment laying around, and your boss says, "Oh yeah, you can use the sound stage on Saturday when we're closed." That's a big difference than us packing up our car,
Hey, drive 7 hours and meet us at this location at 7 a.m.
Yes, and stand in armor for 12 hours.
Yeah, and then drive right back home.
Right. Yeah. Right,
So
but I'm saying just the equipment alone, in that regard. But I never thought of this as a fan film because I think, and I might have said this to you, Ken, at one time, maybe even to John. But when I was a kid, there was that short time of in years where I didn't understand parody. So when I saw like the Mad magazine making fun of Star Wars, and I saw this, it made me angry. Like it made me like they were picking on Star Wars.
Yeah.
When
it was really they were doing it out of love for this stuff.
Right, but I was like 9, and wasn't they ate a little glue or something. I don't know.
Did you guys see the connection between this 1978 movie and Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi? Did you get the connection?
No, but I know there is one. But now because when we decided to do this, I was reading about it and I saw it and I got distracted and didn't finish reading what it was. What was the connection?
So one of the ships in Hardware Wars was an iron.
Right.
And there was a scene in The Last Jedi where you see what looks like an iron coming down when they were getting onto Snoke's ship.
Oh, right.
And Finn and Finn, DJ, and Rose were sneaking in to get the Imperial costumes, the Imperial suits. And you saw the iron come down and was pressing the clothes. So that iron was a direct reference to Hardware Wars.
That's funny.
Many, many years later.
Oh, that's funny. Well, yeah. That's a sounding dog.
Uh-oh.
We should have dog wars. Yeah, No, because again, when you said this was one of those ones that I did not think of in regards to a fan film. It just, it is one, but it didn't cross my mind. Like I always think of Troops as the premier fan film to me.
And so what makes one a fan film more than the other?
No, I think this is a fan film. I just think this was so early that I kind of forgot about it. Like if you wouldn't have said anything, if you said write all the fan films you could think of, I probably would have not written hard. I would have just forgot about it, even though I've heard of it and they've used it on tons of shows and stuff like that, and I know some of the lines.
Yeah, see, like I said, this is a first for me. I haven't heard about it. I haven't seen it. It's just one of those things that it just didn't cross into my fandom here.
That's why.
So how has your life changed now that you've watched it?
I mean, I now know that a whisk and a wine cork, what is it? The corkscrews.
Yeah.
Those are now canon Star Wars ships as far as I'm concerned.
I will say that the Han Solo guy looks a lot like Han Solo in the holiday special cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he looks more like Han Solo. That cartoon Han Solo looks more like him than he does look like Harrison Ford. You could probably say the same thing about Luke too.
I loved how the first half of Fluke's lines were like, "Oh, gee, gosh, golly."
Well, it's funny because when that was made, like think about what the fandom thought. We weren't really sure we were getting a second one. We were kind of thinking we would, but also we didn't know anything about Vader related to Luke, related to Leia, like all that was, which is pretty funny.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the idea of we didn't know if there was going to be another Star Wars. They made that reference. Get in line now.
Yeah.
And back then, you legit had to sit in line if you wanted to make sure that you got tickets for the early shows. You had to sit in line for days.
You had to bust in the door so you got the best seat, and then you had to put like 2 coats out and send someone to get the popcorn, or go in waves to get your popcorn.
Hey, I still had to do that when the Force Awakens came out.
Really? Yeah, we're all assigned. Well, we're all assigned seats. I think we've been assigned seats in most of. There's 1 or 2 theaters that don't have it, but well, when we saw The Rise of Skywalker, we went to an old theater in Hershey. It's a restored 1950s movie theater, and it didn't have assigned seats. It had the big sloping floor and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do though. I have. I have a fan film thing that I just remembered between this week and last week. You guys might have never heard of the fan film. There's a fan film called Fan Wars, I think it was called.
I don't know if I've heard of that one.
And then it was a director named Josh Rubenstein, I think his name was. He made that one, and I think he made one that had something to do with the Phantom Menace. But I forget when Fan Wars. I was trying to find when it came out, but I don't. 99, I think. That's what it says here. I thought it came out sooner, but I don't know. But they were casting people for it, and I was just in this weird spot in my life as before I had kids or anything like that. So I went and read for the villain. I didn't get it. I was not an actor or anything even remotely close, but I was like getting ready to go back to college, and I was in a weird place, So, but that's my. It's not a good story. It's just a funny story. But I just remember it was Josh Rubenstein, and then I went and tried to find him, and he did Fan Wars. And he did some other one, I thought too. I thought he did one, and it's basically just a bunch of guys fighting with lightsabers. But
isn't that what 90% of fan films nowadays are, though?
Yeah. Once someone learns how to rotoscope the blade,
mm-hmm.
then they're always in the woods.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's one fan film that I really enjoyed. Probably 2 years ago now. It was called School Wars. It was just 2 high schoolers that got permission to go film in the high school, and it was actually very well done.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I wish I could remember it more. I just remember like that was one of the things that I looked towards whenever I was very young and starting to like really get into like filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
That I would always look to that one. It's like, okay, well they somehow got a Jedi interceptor to sit in a garage and actually get into it, and it looked right.
Wow, that's impressive.
Right, and thinking about that, like they were high schoolers.
Oh yeah,
and were able to do that. And then they had battle droids in the hallways that they were actually cutting up and mowing them down as Jedi do. And they would have all the effects on the walls with a lightsaber clash across it, so it would have the burn marks along the wall. It was very well done. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend, if you can even find it anywhere.
School Wars?
Yeah, at least now you're questioning my memory.
Well, okay, so this brings another thing up. Is I think it was I went. You can look through web pages back in the day, like you can look through the old web pages and see what was on them. Because I tried to look back in 1997 when Troops came out to see what videos were on. Because did you go to the Force.net, Ken, back in the early days of the internet?
Occasionally.
Because that was where all the fan films were. That's where, and like I would say, like before we had the prequels, I was just looking for anything Star Wars. There was stupid animations that, and I don't know. Because when Troops came out, I have it on DVD, but it won't work in my computer because I was going to put it up to share the screen, but it will not work. The the Force.net was basically just, and you would load the movie and it would be like this big. You'd watch a little screen, or you'd have to download it and be, really. I think in Force.net you still can download the movie. So like it's unlike YouTube, you can actually click on it and it'll download the movie. So.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because that was actually a really big deal, and that's what helped put Troops and Kevin Rubio related to Troops or connected to Troops on the map, because he gave it to Force.net to put up there. So essentially it took away the need to sell it. I mean, a lot of the fan films I used to watch, I would get on either VHS tapes or DVDs later on at conventions and stuff. They were like bootlegs of bootlegs of bootlegs kind of thing. In fact, I got a stack of them behind me. He made the decision to just put it online.
Yeah, I mean, so I saw it online. So I guess we're jumping into Troops. I saw here's my other fan film. Let me do one. Let me see if I can switch the screen one more time. This, up until recently, until Disney Plus came out, I would get this sent to me at work probably once a month for the longest time. I would get this video sent to me for the last couple years. Right? I got the sound turned off. And they would say, look, the new Netflix show's coming. And I was like, no, it's not the new Netflix show. I know the guy that's in it. Because that's Sal playing Voss. And this would be sent to everybody saying the new Netflix show. Even if you look here at Netflix trailer, someone said April Fools. But before they would send it like it was a real movie.
At least it's very well done.
Oh, it is. But again, when I know the person who's in it and I know it's not, I don't know. That's a little side off of our discussion. But everyone would always send me that saying, "Hey, look, they're up until a couple years ago." But yeah, when you could download those for free. So I saw Troops, and then I've said this before. There was a magazine called DVD Magazine, and the premiere episode, I don't even know what movie it was on. I think it was the movie where the one Hurley, the actress, she was the devil or something. I don't know. I forget what the name of the movie was, but it was included in the DVD, and it had the full length Troops with updated graphics and stuff. And so I have it somewhere. I have the DVD of Troops to watch. Now, when you guys watched it, did you see the high heels?
Mm-hmm.
When you rewatched it? Now, I was trying to look up the credits. They still don't give that woman credit for being a trooper.
Really?
Well, there's actually two women in stormtrooper costumes in that movie.
Yeah, but I didn't see any women's names in the credits.
They're twins, so they have the same last name.
Oh, okay.
And that's a pretty funny story too, how that all happened. So when Kevin was figuring out how to make the movie and everything, it was around the time that they were doing the special editions. And he worked at Fox at the time. And so a lot of the Fox employees would get to see movies before they made it out in the theaters. And so they played the movie on the Fox lot, and he and a bunch of his coworkers and stuff went to see the movie. And then afterwards they were joking about writing their own show based on Cops, because Cops was a Fox property at the time.
Yep.
And then they just kind of paused, and he said, "Wait a minute, are any of you going to do anything with that?" And they didn't say, "Are you okay with me doing something with it?" So that night he went back to his office, watched a whole bunch of episodes of Cops, and wrote the script in one night. And then later on, he was trying to, he's reaching out to his Fox friends to see, and I'm not saying Fox and friends, but I mean Fox friends that worked at the studios, asking if they had access to the costumes, and they didn't. And then he saw a picture in one of the papers during the premiere of the special editions, and there was a bunch of stormtroopers there. Yeah. And this was before the 501st.
Yeah.
So he found out that two of the people in stormtrooper costumes, they were actually students at a nearby college, and they were a set of twins. So he reached out to them and asked them if they would be in this this movie. So when you look through the credits, look for the two people with the same last name.
Yeah, I wasn't looking through. I wound up just cheating, going on IMDb, and I didn't see their names. So I was like, and then I got distracted trying to find my DVD that I didn't go back to the movie. But it is funny because like Cops was pretty big back then. Like I mean, that show ran forever, but it was like kind of a different time in the sense that like he grabbed the essence of Cops in this without people realizing that's how Cops are on that show. Like now we look at things a little more. We look at things with a little more depth than back then. You were just happy, hey, look, that cop just threw that guy down. You know what I mean? And you didn't think much about what was really happening. And this kind of, it's funny looking back. I mean, that's almost over 20 years ago when they made this. And as a costume guy, I'm like, man, look at all those wires they have hanging off their suit because they have all the mic packs and stuff. And then they round up dubbing voices anyway. That's what I think is pretty funny.
Yep, and so in Hardware Wars, they didn't use any official Lucas sounds because they just didn't have access to them.
Right.
For Troops, they actually were really creative to get some of those sounds. They actually, for the TIE fighters, I think, they got the old Star Wars storybook and played that and recorded the TIE fighter sounds from that. And the speeder bikes that we'll see when we watch the episode, that was actually recorded from the Nintendo 64 video game.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, they were super creative, and it's funny that you were talking about people in the industry. Troops was made by a whole bunch of people in the industry, and people that were in the industry then and went further. I mean, Kevin Rubio is a wonderful example of that. I mean, he wrote an episode for Star Wars Clone Wars. He wrote Star Wars comic books afterwards.
Yep.
After he did Troops. In fact, the episode of Star Wars Clone Wars that he wrote, George Lucas asked for him to write it because he saw his comic books that he was involved in and thought he was a very great comedic writer. And the episode that he wrote for Clone Wars was called Bombay Jedi, which focused all on Jar Jar.
Yeah. Well,
I had no idea about any of that.
And then Troops, they did expand Troops into imps, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they did or somebody else picked it up and did that.
Yeah, I think there was like some loose connection. Like it might have been like either a guy was a friend of a friend or something. But imps was good, but it didn't catch the it was kind of like that. Troops to me is one of those ones where it just everything hit at the right time because we were all in the late 90s. We were kind of starving for Star Wars, because you weren't. I don't think I'm trying to think how long before when you really thought the Phantom Menace was coming out. I forget what year they actually started talking about it, but
I thought it was around the time that the special editions came out because the special editions came out because George finally thought that they had the technology to do some of the stuff he wanted to do. Like, for instance, I know we talked about it last time we were together, where they put the Ronto in A New Hope.
Right.
So he thought that they were finally at that place where the technology was available to create the characters and to create the scenes and the special effects that he wanted to create. So I think it was in the late 90s that they really started talking it up. And wasn't it 90 when A Phantom Menace came out?
What? I'm sorry, 99, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was all around that time.
I'm trying because I do remember when I heard an interview from the guys that were doing Troops, and they said that people thought they were filming Phantom Menace when they were filming it, which is funny because the first photo shoot we did up at the Cliffs of Kenoi, we did with Marty and Dan and a bunch of us. It was right. It was a year out before Force Awakens came out, and so people were asking us if we were with because we had a whole spread lane out where they had the cars parked and stuff. We we didn't have the access that we had, so we had to bring all our stuff. We had to walk it down the road. But yeah, I just remember reading that. I'm just trying to think because I remember my first my first introduction to the Phantom Menace coming out was a blurb in, I think it was Star Wars Insider. You know, because that was a point in my life where I wasn't watching much TV and the internet was so slow. You got so frustrated with it. And I think it was Star Wars Insider had a blurb about the new Star Wars movie, because I remember, or it could even have been a toy, because I remember ordering like the Mace Windu and all of that, and I was just starved for anything Star Wars, you know, any kind of video you could get. And Troops came out, so, and it's 10 minutes long. It seems longer than Hardware Wars.
Yeah, the pacing is different.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, should I try playing this one?
Yeah, I think so. You ready for this one, John?
Oh yeah, I actually watched it earlier today.
Now I made it through the weather. Better days are gonna get better. I'm so happy the car night is gone. I'm moving on.